Asus Rog Strix Gl702Vm review. Design and build. This laptop might be at the lower end of the gaming notebook spectrum, but Asus hasn't skimped on the physical design. The Strix is built around black aluminium and plastic, with orange accents on logos, the trackpad and the keys themselves. It's a good-looking system, and its dimensions aren't overly huge either. It weighs 2.7 kilograms and is 24 millimeters thick. Both figures undercut chunkier rivals. If there's one area where the Gl702Vm suffers, though, it's build quality. The screen is wobbly, and there's too much give in the wrist rests. The base panel is sturdier, but it can't be opened, which means all of the components are locked down unless you're happy to void the warranty. Performance. Pairing the GTX 1060 with a full HD screen is a sensible choice that leads to balanced performance. At this resolution, the Asus had no trouble with modern games, with averages beyond 60 FPS in Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, Dirt Rally and GTA 5. That's an important marker, because the screen runs G-Sync at a maximum refresh rate of 60 Hz, so if a game can run at 60 FPS, you're going to get the absolute best out of NVIDIA's game smoothing technology. Only the toughest challenges push this GPU to the limit. I loaded Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, which is one of the most demanding games around, and the Asus averaged 37 FPS with a minimum frame rate of 29 FPS. That's fine, but it means that this GPU doesn't have as much headroom to cope with the demanding games that will emerge in a few years' time. You'll either have to drop the graphical settings or maybe switch to a lower resolution. For the next couple of years, though, you'll be fine. The final key component, the SSD, is similarly mid-range. Its sequential read and write speeds of 514 MB per second and 478 MB per second are fine, and quicker than any hard disk, but they're reined in by the upper limits of the SATA interface. Any laptop with an NVMe.2 or P SSD will have much quicker loading and boot times. Screen. The 17.3-inch screen has a 1920 by 1080 resolution. That's broadly fine for gaming, movies and work, but its density level of 127p is low when compared to higher-end laptops. The Asus is better in other areas. It has 60 Hz NVIDIA G-Sync, which is entirely standard, even on most more expensive gaming laptops, and it has a matte finish. The Asus is reasonable in benchmarks, but it never gets beyond that level. Its contrast level of 900:1 is decent, and enough to provide vivid colors and a fair bit of punch when combined with the screen's 0.35 nit black level. Battery life. The lesser GPU and Core i5 processor do bode well for longevity, but the Strix's 76 Wh power pack isn't huge. Many other gaming laptops with more powerful components have larger batteries. That means the Asus battery life is entirely ordinary. In the low-intensity PowerMark test it lasted for 3 hours 42 minutes, which is a little on the low side. In a gaming test with the screen at full brightness it managed 1 hour 10 minutes, perhaps a tiny bit longer than many gaming laptops, but not enough of a lead to make a difference.